Welcome back. We've got Mr. Akin Oshuntokun here with us. He's the spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, looking through some of those programs that your party has got, particularly to do with security, are you confident that the plan that your party has can stem the tide with what we've seen today?
Well, when you're addressing this kind of situation, which borders on emergency, right? You don't have the luxury of coming up with a lot of, papers or details. You don't have that luxury at all. What you do is look for a prognosis of what they are doing right, what they are doing wrong. And you will discover that one of the things that you see is the extreme politicization of security is in large measure responsible for the crisis we are in today, that Nigeria is in. It may not, people who are talking about, you look when the criteria for responding to issues that require competence and capacity, right, is nepotism. There has been no group of Nigerians individually and collectively who has not told this president, who have not commented on the extreme lopsidedness of the security architecture of this country. One of the things we are facing today, right, is the consequences of that. If your criteria, your predicate for staffing your office is not competent, it's not inclusion, right? There's no way you are not going to end up with what we're having today.
Well, you say that the security apparatus is being politicized.
Yes.
How?
That is politicization. When security is supposed to be in your response to a security problem, which includes staffing, it's not supposed to reflect your political partisanship at the expense of professionalism and competence. And not only that, politically in a pluralistic country like diverse country like Nigeria, inclusion is not just a moral recommendation, it is in the constitution. That all for balance, for political balance, and a lot of human management has to do with inclusion. Right. So that is, if you don't do that, you have a reason for not doing it, partisanship or personalization. That is, you are politicizing.
No.
Not only, excuse me, Chamberlain, another aspect of the political is using it for propaganda, right? Then you start, increasing the gap between reality, and what you promise, right? You start using it even before this government got into office. They rode on this platform of Mr. Security and so on and so forth. When they got into the office, the same thing. So you are selling something you don't have, and in the process, you undermine your own capacity to solve it.
We'll bring up one matter that occurred while your party was in power, but let's do that when we'll come back from this break. Don't go away. I'm just wondering, how do we know that this is not just campaign rhetoric on the part of PDP, for instance? Because politicians will say lots of things, but getting into office, then they realize, oh, there's bureaucracy. When it has to do with security, for instance, if we need to change the structure of policing, it's not as easy as some say it's going to be. If your party, you were in power the last time, that didn't happen.
Well, you see, the short-term, mid-term, and long-term perspectives. So the problem of security, as in most other areas. But you see, when you are overwhelmed, getting overwhelmed, what you are saying, let me quickly respond to that and use it as a preface. People have been calling for devolution and decentralization of powers. Right? This is one aspect on which you can actually see why you need to put it to practice. It's no longer a propaganda or rhetoric or whatever. When people say they don't understand the meaning of restructuring and how it will impact your life, this is one area it can. Good security systems all over the world rely a lot more, on the local capacity to handle it than the top-down, approach to it. But you see, having said that, I said, there's also look, that is for Nigeria, for instance, you may consider that as mid to long-term perspective to solving this problem. In the short term, which we have now, the country, the government is almost losing control of the situation. It's not that they are weak in it. There's an element of almost losing the control. When you have an army, right, that runs away from a group of civilians who are terrorists who are better trained, not once, not twice, but it has become a daily occurrence.
Yeah, but
then also there is a loss of human lives.
Okay, but isn't it true that the fact that your party had more time, you had time to look at the issues, the agitation was there before now, but
more resources.
We didn't have restructuring of the policing structure in the country.
A lot of the problems we are facing today and difficulties of the government, they brought it on themselves. Only a few days ago, when this president was declaring open his campaign, he said we have defeated Boko Haram. Now, there is no way anybody who can say that, in front of Nigeria. I will expect that person to be successful in dealing with the security situation in Nigeria. It's either you are being dishonest or you don't know, you don't have to actually have a grasp.
So what would the PDP do differently then, say in Zamfara State?
I'm not sure I've time to respond to that.
No, I've told you one. And that is devolution and decentralization through restructuring, which the candidate has marshaled several times over.
Will that solve the question in Zamfara and recently in Katsina?
Exactly. You see, and then security is dynamic, right? That's the aspect of it I was stressing to you. You have to respond to it as it comes. It's not, you work on your feet, you have to, you cannot predict exactly what is going to happen. So each situation presents its own dynamics, and difficulties, and you act accordingly.
I wanted to thank you for coming on. Mr. Akin Oshutoko is the spokesperson for the PDP Presidential Campaign Council. That's the show today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.